And we are live. Good morning, South Florida. Hello, world. I am Robert Henderson Jr., President, Founder, CEO of the Henderson Financial Group. And good morning to you. Good morning to the world. Got a fantastic show lined up for you today. My partner, James T., my brother from another mother, he'll be signing on with us shortly. He has an assignment to do. He's got something to take care of. But I'm gonna ride out with you guys single because I got single right now until I keep the show going on until James C., my brother from another mother, arrives. Um, exciting stuff that's happening today. Man, I tell you, a lot of people are panicking about what happened yesterday in the world of the stock market. The market was down 2,200 points, and the day before that, it was Thursday. It was down 1,400, and this is because of the new administration, Trump's tariffs, and how tariffs are going to affect and have been affecting the prices and for consumer goods, and also just goods and services around not only just the United States, but also around the world. But hey, this is what people wanted. People got what they wanted. Half of the people wanted Trump to make America great again, and this is what he is doing so far. I am fast forwarding because I can't wait to see the end of the year, how things shape out and how things change. He did warn and said that there was going to be some pain before he had some gain. But boy, I tell you, a lot of these people that have lost their jobs, a lot of these people with no notice who have bought houses, who have started family, who have just got married and lost their jobs, I know they didn't think that the pain was going to be like this, boy. I tell you, there's an old saying that say, be careful what you ask for. You just might get it, Hey, I'm Robert Henderson Jr. Those of you all who don't know who I am, I'm the president, founder, CEO of the Henderson Financial Group. We are a full service financial planning firm here, located here in South Florida. And I am the CEO and the president of the Henderson Financial Group, located here in Miami Lakes, Florida. And my guy, like I say, James T., he will be tuning in as soon as he take care of some stuff. That's my partner here, my co-host. I'm just totally ecstatic about what's going on right now, especially in the stock markets. But a lot of my clients are pretty safe. I didn't get a hell of a lot of calls like I did probably, I would say 30 years ago. No, yeah, 30 years. No, I would say in the year 2000 when the market crashed, I got so many phone calls and people were going crazy and losing it. They really was. Let me see if I got my guy here, James T., on. Let me see. I can't see him. I don't see him. I don't see James T. Backstage. Hold on. So don't see you. Oh, I don't see you backstage, James, to bring you on. Yeah, I remember what was happening back in the year 2000 in the dot-com era, when we were doing a lot of stock options and the market dropped like this. And when you do a lot of stock options, when the market dropped like this, that money evaporates real fast. I mean, it really does. It crashed back in the year 2000, but right now, this right here, it crashed back in 2000 because of the dot-com area, about the predicted the future, what was going to be happening. Companies were going up, the values were going up, and the company hadn't even made any money, but just off wishful thinking. Now, what is happening? This new administration, they're basically saying they're going to clean house, and they're trying to get rid of a lot of a lot of waste. That's what's happening right now, and it's really affecting a lot of people. I mean, it really it's really affecting a lot of people. But listen, like those of you who are worried, I want to say one thing. This too shall pass. If you're strong and you're a believer and you have your financial life in order, you don't have all your money in the stock market. You should never have all your money in the stock market. Listen, I've been telling you guys that for a long time, diversification. And I'm not saying diversification in different kind of stocks and diversification in different kind of mutual funds, because mutual funds, ETFs, and the stock market, those are stocks. And then also bonds, the same thing. I mean, bonds, I mean, that's not diversification. That's still the market. Diversification is when you have other type of asset classes. What I mean by that, you have some real estate, not just the house you live in, but you have some rental property. And some of y'all say, y'all don't have any rental properties. You don't want to have them. You'd rather go ahead and buy ETFs or go buy REITs, but that's still market stuff. Now, non-tradable ETF, non-tradable REITs, I understand that, but you don't have a lot of control with non-tradable REITs. I did that, done that, got a t-shirt. I don't like non-tradable REITs because I like to have control of my money and not somebody far off who I'd never met control of my money and telling me what I'm going to get and what I'm not going to get. I like to have as much control as I possibly can. So I don't even like non-tradable REITs. I did that. Okay. I like when you have control. If you're going to go into real estate, you own your real estate. One is your house, and then you own some rental properties. That's what you need to do, and then the other part is you need to have some life insurance. Now, I'm not talking about term life insurance. I am saying you need to have some you need to have, let me see if I can try to get James T in here. Let me see if I can try to get James T in here. Let me hold on 1 second, guys. I'm trying to see if I can get James T in here. Okay. I'm trying to see if I can get him in here. So, because he wants to come in, but I can't. I don't see him right now. Hold on, everybody. Just hold on 1 second. It says invite guests. Oh, I don't know. Streamline always, they always doing something different. Always doing something different. And it's hard for you to get them in. Okay. James C, I'm trying to get you in here, brother, but I don't know what's, Facebook changes all the time. Then Facebook changes all the time, and I'm trying to get you in, and now I can't get you in. I think what you have to probably do is log out and probably come back in on that link that we sent you, because you're not showing backstage like you normally show, James. So I'm gonna keep trying to get you in. All right. Boy, I tell you, this technology. I'm trying to get you in. How you doing, Norvik? How you doing, Miss Redhead? How you doing, Nell? Brenda Brown, Islam. Everybody's falling all in. Let me see if I can get this out of here. Hide that. Okay. I've been trying to get James C in, but somehow this thing is not letting me bring him in. This thing is not letting him bring me in, so I don't like used to, so I don't know. Shoot, I got who is this in here? Okay, you can tell I'm not really used to doing all this stuff, right? Hide this. All right, let me tell you exactly what I want to do. James, I don't know how to get you in like we normally. I just click the button, you come in. Right now, it doesn't. It won't allow me to do that. So I don't know. When it says invite guests, I say yes, invite guests, but then it's not letting me click you on. All right. Anyway, we have to catch up. All right. So the Dow Jones Industrial Average was down 2,200 points. Listen, let me tell you something. You got to have diversification. That's why I tell you guys to get life insurance. I tell you guys to get cash value life insurance, not term. I tell you guys to also, which we do with our clients, we also have annuities, not variable annuities, but fixed guaranteed principal annuities, where your money is guaranteed and it's fixed. Okay, it grows and it gives you a stream of income later on in life. So you want to have that. How you doing, P? Good morning. And you also want to also have an IUL. I like the IUL Index Universal Life. Now, the most important thing about a Index Universal Life, a lot of y'all have heard me on this show rather than calling me so I can design the IUL for you guys. A lot of you all went to State Farm or went to someone else in some other company to do an IUL. It's not the same. It's like if I tell you to go buy a car, but I want you to buy a certain car, you just can't go any car dealership to buy a car. If I say you buy a certain car, even though I said Index Universal Life, let me tell you the most important thing about Index Universal Life insurance. An Index Life, first of all, is built to put a lot of money in, to put a lot of cash in. It's not minimum investment. You can't say, if you say, how little can I put into an IUL? You got the wrong IUL. You know, that's like saying, how little can I put into a jet fighter plane? You know, if you say that, then oh, there you go. There you go, my friend. I know. What? You had me going crazy.
Rob. Hey, that enemy can't win. He can't win, Rob. Now I'm sitting here, yeah, and I'm saying, now I know he can see me, or he should be able to see me, but hey. So I guess what I did? I went to
What?
Old Faithful. I'm on the cell phone.
Oh man.
Yeah, I said, wait, what are they trying to do to us? But hey, Rob, they can't win. But I want to say good morning to you and to all the listeners and the viewers, because I've been logged in since about 8:30.
Oh man.
I came in early, but
But
I did hear you talking about how what people are going through during these times, and how we've got to realize, man, we've lived through worse times, Rob.
yes, when you reflect, if you look back how far we've come, we have lived through worse time. One of the worst times that we lived through in the year 2020, the pandemic, the stock market dropped to all-time lows. I mean, the thing dropped to 6,000. I think it was like 18,000. It was like 20 some thousand. It dropped to 6,000. I mean, it lost 10,000 points. So right now, for it to lose, 3,000, 4,000 points, that ain't nothing. I mean, some people are like, I lost my money. No. I mean, if you bought a stock at $50 a share and now it's worth $200 a share, and now it went down from $200 a share to 150, you remember you bought it at 50 and it's at 150 still. So why are you about to lose your mind, lose all your money? You know, but it's the mindset. People just want to get into the fray. People just want to get out. It's like that's why I stampede. Somebody holler, if you're in a stadium and somebody holler gun, people gonna get killed not from the gun because they don't get stampede trying to get out that one door. You know what I mean?
I know what you mean. Now, Rob, you can pull me up on my regular camera.
I got you. I
And-
see.
and-
I see right here where it says remove and then put you on the road. So what's happening there? I mean, you working this thing now?
Hey, Rob, this is what we do.
Yeah, you got.
This is what we do. This is what we do. This
Yeah,
is
you
what
want
we
to turn
do.
the phone off now? Yeah,
Yeah. Oh
man.
yeah. We're gonna leave you on the phone. But yeah. So, but I thank you so much, man, for all that you do, and I've been even sharing with people to watch us and to listen to you. For truly, if you believe that these are difficult times, then you obviously weren't here when people were dying by the hundreds and the thousands, of people during COVID,
Yeah.
and we survived, and Rob, we survived that,
Listen,
you
man, we gonna be all right. You know.
I- and that's the attitude and feeling that we should have, and truly, now for those who didn't start, now is an excellent opportunity to get started in financial planning, for family and future.
Yeah, it's a wake up call. It's a wake up call. Matter of fact, Islam Islam, one of my clients here, she says, Rob, that was back in 2007 with subprime mortgages, Rob. And that's true. And Lehman Brothers went out of business. And also Bear Stearns went out of business. Bear Stearns and Lehman Brothers was like Merrill Lynch. Merrill Lynch would have went out of business, but Bank of America actually bought them over. They're supposed to be out of business too because a lot of the subprime mortgages, what they were doing, the government bailed them out. But that too passed. You know, if you really reflect and see how we've overcome all of this stuff that's taking place right now, it will pass, and it's not our fault. It's not our fight. Someone was telling my wife, "Hey, Natalie, let's get out in this protest." This administration, and I said, "No, I know you're not getting ready to get out there and protest nothing. You're not getting ready to get out there and walk no streets." Because let me tell you something. She said, "Why, Robert?" I said, "Listen, let me tell you something. America, first of all, is a capitalist society. America believes in dollars and cents. America is built on, I want to say, be honest, I mean, really lack on, I don't want to say greed, but I'll say capitalism. It means America goes for business, the business country. It is a entrepreneurial country. It is a country that says this is a supply and demand country. America, in the economics of America, do not listen to people talking. It listens to the dollars, the cash register. So you could go out there and you can protest all you want to. But if you protesting and my business is still ringing up money, they don't really care about it. They can't hear you when you out there hollering, marching. They can't hear you. Back in the 60s, when the brothers did that, the civil rights, when they protest, they stopped riding those buses. So the bus people say, "Oh, wait. I'm losing money. I'm losing money." Now, they first they were just talking and flapping their gums, but I'm losing money. Then you start losing money, businesses change. So that's totally, totally different. You know, I was telling my wife, I said, no sense in you going out there protesting. That's not our fight. You can't protest something because America, in terms of capitalism, if you are affecting and hurting someone's business, they will make a change. It's called supply and demand. Listen, the only reason why stuff costs so much is because we, as a nation and people, we pay for it. If I have a store, if I'm a shop owner, if I'm a businessman, and I have my items $50 for a can of soup, if you keep on buying the can of soup, and then there's other people out here protesting how much a can of soup costs, it's a lot of people protesting that my soup is too much. But I got tons of people in line buying it for $50. Who you think I'm gonna listen to? Now, if the people drop out of line and stop buying it for $50, and I'm starting to go out of business, I'm going to listen to the protesters because now I'm making less money. But if I'm still making, if you complaining about the price of eggs, but you still pay, a guy told me last night, I was leaving the office, and there's a friend of mine here in Georgia. He said he went to buy some eggs. The eggs usually was $2. He went to the grocery store. He says, listen, told the man, hey, these eggs here are $8. He said, what happened to the $2 eggs? The man say, those are the $2 eggs.
Check me out, Rob. I'll be right back.
Okay. All right. Hey, all right. Hey, James, I'll text you. I'll see you when you come back. Hey, so then he said, I said, why you didn't get the egg laying, even the egg laying eggs? He said, man, those was $50 a case. $50. He said he told the man, they come out the same chicken. They just all of them come out of chicken. I say, the man said, yes, they do. But this is how much they're going for. It's called supply and demand. Business owners, business 101, business owners understand and they've been taught supply and demand. The people, us, we will tell them when we want no more. But just talking don't do anything. You have to hit them in the pocketbook. You have to hit them in their wallets. All that marching, all that complaining don't mean nothing. If you complaining about Amazon, but then you still getting packages, if you complaining about Target, but you're not hitting them in the pockets, they can't hear you. What you say speaks. So listen, what you say they can't hear. They can hear what you do and the results. That's how capitalism really works. And it's a design. It really is. If you go in to buy burgers and the burgers cost a certain amount of money, if you don't want if they're too high, you will show them, not talking, you will stop buying the burgers and they have to put everything on sales. Why do you think some stores, when they have stuff, the garments, they put them on sale? They put them on sale because they couldn't sell them at a certain price. So they got to drop the price. They got to put them on go to Macy's, you can go to Fast Act. You go to the Fast Act sale. My wife told me about that. So you got to go and buy stuff cheaper because they're going to lower the price. Now, if you want to keep on buying stuff, what kind of fool business person is going to lower his price on anything if y'all still buying them at that price? No, that's not how business works. So talk and protest all you want to. Do what's necessary, and a business owner or people that sell goods and services, they'll react to you, okay? So when it comes to the stock market, if you don't need that money to pay your rent or your mortgages, and first of all, it shouldn't be there. If you're getting a distribution every month from your stocks to pay your mortgage, you're in the wrong place. That should be coming from a pension. That should be coming from an annuity. That should be coming in a life insurance policy, something that does not have an effect, that will not be affected by the stock market volatility ups and down. That means you have a wrong advisor. You have your money wrong. You need to have, when you retire or if you want a stream of income, you can't have it dependent on the stock market. No, you got to have it somewhere like a pension. You got to have it like in a Social Security, or you got to have it in annuities, or you got to have it in cash value life insurance. That's where you have to have it. So listen, if you have stocks and you don't, and your money is in the market and you don't need to take it out right now, baby, you just got to write it down. You got to write it down and try to eat from somewhere else, because it will comes back up. Because let me tell you what happened. In the history of America, rich people get rich when chaos takes place. Poor people run for the hills and sell all they can sell and panic and jump out the window. Rich people make money during hard times. Warren Buffett's been telling y'all this for a long time. Warren Buffett, Berkshire Hathaway, man, 94 years old, still making a lot of money. He says he make all his money, he's gotten rich when all hell broke loose. When hurricanes took place, when the stock market died. This is an induced stock market to go down. This didn't have to go down. Trump said he's going to drop it down with these tariffs. And he said that. And people voted him in. Now y'all got a nerve to be pissed and crying. Lost your job, ain't know what he was going to do. The man said that he was going to clean house and he was going to cut a lot of jobs. He was going to get a lot of and poor people. Let me tell you something. If you low income, man, I feel so bad for you, because you just didn't hear, or you didn't understand. You know, the other day I was looking at inflation and time value of money, and I looked at the price of a stamp back when I graduated high school, 1976. It was 13 cents for a postal stamp. So then after that, I started working for CBS Channel 4 as a graphic artist. And they was paying me $15 an hour. I was making like $31,000 a year. When I left them to get into financial services, because I wanted to go higher ground, I was making $31,000 a year. It was about $15 an hour. That was 1983. So in 1983, how much did a stamp cost? A stamp cost 20 cents. From 1976, when I graduated, to 1983, okay, that was just 7 years later. The stamp went from 13 cents to 20 cents. But when I left, because I figured Channel 4 wasn't paying me enough money, it was paying me $31,000, and the stamp was a postal stamp was 20 cents. Do you know what a postal stamp right now costs to mail a piece of mail? It's not 20 cents anymore. It's 74 cents. And I was making $15 an hour, and the stamp only cost me 20 cents. Some of y'all making $15 an hour, $31,000 a year, and the stamp don't cost 20 cents. It costs more than 3 times that. So your money, your $31,000, if you're making that, should be right now more than 3 times what I was making, what you was making in 1983. But you're not. The average person making $50,000 a year, 55,000, 57,000. That's a national average. So y'all way behind in terms of keeping time with the cost of goods and services. Now, rich people, wealthy people, CEO, they make $20 and $30 million every year. Back then, they weren't making $20 and $30 million a year, but now that's what they do. That's what they make. But the workers in America, your wages have not come up. But you don't even know this, and they know you don't know this. They know you don't know this. That's why it's so hard to buy a house. The average person right now should be making, everybody should be making minimum 100,000. That's like minimum wage. It should be making 100,000. If you're doing okay, you should be making 250,000. That's just okay. But now somebody who making 100,000 right now, walking around with his chest out, driving a Mercedes Benz, a school teacher thinking they doing something. No, you're behind time when it comes to equivalent of purchasing power and how much money you should be making in order to drive that Mercedes Benz, in order to have that $500,000, $600,000, $800,000 house. You're supposed to be making at least $250,000 a year. But y'all trying to get a house, houses did what they do. Houses went up in value like what they do. Only thing what hasn't happened is the nation employees have not made the money they made. Why? It's because there has not been a protest. Why? People say we ain't doing this shit no more. Excuse them for the lane. They say we ain't doing this no more. That's why you have people striking on the airlines. You have people striking like on the docks of Miami, the port of Miami. Them people say we're gonna shut this thing down unless y'all give us more money. They gave them more money. That's what you got to do. But nationwide, there's people in the country right now still making $7 an hour. A whole hour, $7. Think about that. A whole hour. And then you have some fools who are making some money, have a nerve. You making $200,000, $300,000. If you're making $500,000, you ain't got no business. If you want to, you can do what you want to do. But you really don't have no business driving around a Rolls Royce. I see so many people in the hood with purple Bentleys and green Bentleys and riding around with that foolishness, but don't have no assets, not creating generational wealth. You're supposed to be buying real estate. You're supposed to be having cash value life insurance. Now, y'all hear me talk about cash value life insurance a lot. Let me tell you why I really like that. 'Cause I'm a very frugal person. I live way below my means. But let me tell you why I like cash value life insurance. If you put $1,000 in the stock market, if you put $1,000 in the bank account, if you put $1,000 in a CD, if you put $1,000 savings account, if you put $1,000 under your mattress, if one day you just drop dead, all your family gonna get is $1,000. If it's in the stock market, they don't tell them what they're gonna get. It may be lower, higher, depends. But that's all they're gonna get. The only investment that I have found in the whole world since I've been doing this almost 40 years, if you take that $1,000 and put it into a life insurance plan, soon as you put the $1,000 in there, you got the $1,000 in there. But if you died, $200,000 comes to your loved ones tax free. Now, how in the heck 1,000 can generate? That's what the death benefit, because we know we all gonna die. So to me, that's a no-brainer. So if you have not made what you want to make throughout your lifetime, you haven't saved and invested and came up big, then you gotta be able to take the shortcut. The shortcut is to guarantee what you want to happen will happen. And the only vehicle I know can do that is a life insurance plan. If you care about your wife, so many people riding around here got a wife and children and ain't got no coverage. Man called me the other day. He wants to invest. He wants to do all this. I said, well, you got a family, but do you have a life insurance? Because people drop dead, they have a heart attack. You don't know what happens. Cancer just running rapid. I said, do you at least have cover? You have protection? Do you have protection on your car? Oh, I got auto insurance. Yeah. So you're going to protect the car, but you ain't going to protect your life, your body? Do you have health insurance? No, I ain't got no health insurance. What? You are the mechanism that make everything work, and you ain't got no protection on you, but you're going to protect that silly car? Come on, man. And it don't cost a lot. If you can't buy cash value life insurance, you can buy convertible term. You know what a convertible term is? A convertible term means that it's like riding a bicycle. You just starting out. You can't ride the bike with no hands yet. So you get on the bike, but you put some training wheels on there. But damn, at least you on the bike. And when you got some training wheels on you, then you can take your hand off because you got the training wheels on. Training wheels, to me, is term life. But as you learn how to ride the bike, you take the training wheels off. I'm using a metaphor. So if you can afford $10,000, $20,000, $30,000 or more a year to put into a cash value IUL life insurance, you can buy the training wheel life insurance. You can buy a convertible term. What that is a convertible term IUL, meaning that you can start off, you can pay $200 or $100 a month, $200 a month because you're on training wheel, but it's an IUL, which means that when your money starts flowing, now you can convert it into a permanent policy. And now you can take the training wheels off of that IUL, and now you can start putting money in it. And then you got it at a younger age because your health was good. So now 10 years later, you can go ahead because you done made your mark. You done became this, this big someone athlete. Your business done flourish. But at least you have coverage now, and you want to get a convertible term. Convertible term means you convert it into an index universal life, and now you can throw 10, 20, 30, $50,000. I have clients putting $100,000 a year, $200,000 a year in an IUL, and not because they think they're gonna die. It's because instead of putting that money in the bank, instead of putting that money in the CD, instead of putting that money in the mattress, instead of putting that money in the stock market, they put it in somewhere. They know that if you put in $200,000 that year, or $100,000 or $50,000, you got at least $1 million in case you give up the ghost and go to heaven. Tax-free to your loved ones. But that's not why we do it for the death part. We do it for the living benefits, because whatever life-death benefit they give you, it also covers you for stroke, heart attack, long-term care, critical illness, chronic illness, prostate cancer, all that. They give you that death benefit now if you get diagnosed. That's some good stuff. That's some really good stuff. You protected then. Now you got a suit of armor on. Okay. Now we can go ahead and say, okay, let's get some diversification because you need to get some more stream of income. So now you need to go say, let's get some real estate. If you don't like real estate, you don't have to manage the real estate. I got tons of real estate. I don't even know now one of my tenants. You think I got time to be collecting that and dealing with that? I will pay somebody 10% to manage that. They better have my money in every month. If they don't, I'm firing them and get another manager. But you don't have to have hands on to be a landlord. Now, if you want to be frugal and you want to go collect the rent and all that, you can do that. I don't have time to do that. And I like what real estate does for me in terms of having rental property, because I get a tax deduction. America says if you provide housing, food, energy, technology, whatever, if you are serving people, the income tax laws of the U.S. will have you paying damn near no taxes. So you can make money over here on your 9-to-5 job. You can be making money on your entrepreneurial job. But if you helping somebody with housing, or you feeding somebody, or you helping somebody with technology, or you helping somebody in the oil business, whatever, the tax law says you damn near pay no taxes. So all the money is tax free, and somebody's renting your house out, or your rental property out, and paying the mortgage for you, which you get to deduct off your personal taxes. You notice the person who renting the place, they don't get no tax benefits. They pay it for you, and you get the tax benefits to offset your other income from your 9-to-5 job. Now, y'all got to figure this out. Y'all got to understand this. If you don't understand it, I need y'all to call 305-825-1444. Ask for Robert. Say you want a consultation. Say you're trying to get your financial house in order. Because I'm going to tell you something. Once you get 40 years old, there ain't no more excuse. Once you get at least 40 years old, there ain't no more excuse. Let me tell you why I say that. Because when I reflect, between 1 and 18, from being 1 year old and 18 years old, most people really don't know what's going on. They just doing like the ever ready battery. They really don't know what's going on in life. They don't understand money. They don't understand a lot of this stuff. They damn sure understand politics and all this stuff. Because what for? I mean, you're just trying to have a good time and eat something. By the time you're 18, you getting out of puberty. And, you trying to fall in love or like somebody or whatever, or have a good time or whatever, right? That's like 18 years old. And then they tell you gotta learn something. I'm telling you, most people don't learn nothing between, by the time the first grade. They probably take science and math or stuff like that. But there's not a whole lot of brainy people that focus on doing something between the first grade and 18. They'll go and do the work so they won't get in trouble or stay back or whatever. But it's not really, they're not engaged and they can do it. Some people like it, but I didn't. I know. By the time you're 18 years old, and you say, okay, I got to study something, I get a job. But then you get a job, but you don't really know what you want to study. Most people go to college and spend all that money. They may graduate college, but they really don't end up in that field. They change fields, So now here you are, you're 21 or you're 25 years old, and you finish college and you get a job. And you're trying to figure it out. And you figure out, man, you ain't rich, and it's just tough, And then you might marry the wrong person. You get into drugs, get the wrong game, follow whatever, And by the time you're 40 years old, man, you should have did that, done that, got a t-shirt. You figure out you married the wrong boy or girl. You made a mistake. You had too many kids, or what you thought was real is not real. And now you figured it out by 40. As I'm saying this, I want y'all to reflect on your own life. Really, man, because we all in this together. Y'all know what I'm talking about is true. And then you say, dang, man, I wish I can do a do-over. But you're 40 years old now. At 40 years old, you still got a time to reinvent yourself if you really want to. Listen, I didn't start playing the piano, Beethoven and all that. I didn't until I was 50. Why? Because I always liked the piano. I never took it in high school. I never cared about it. But I like jazz, like how it sounded. I said, damn, I could do this. Let me learn page by page, finger by finger. And I learned it. And I'm like, oh, wow. I started wanting to do stuff. But by the time I was 50, I started wanting to do things that I didn't think I could do. I wanted to say, damn it, I'm just as good as the next person. Let me learn how to do page by page. And by the time you're 40, you're supposed to be able to figure it out and say, at the rate you're going right now, you ain't going to make it. A lot of times you're working 20, you're working for the county, the state, you hate the job, but you figure you're putting in the time. But you hate the job. That's not really your passion. After 40 years old, man, you can have the job just to eat, but then you got to do something on the side was your passion that you like, something that's going to make money and help other people. If you want to make money, you got to do things that's going to help other people. You have to serve. That's what it is. If you want to be an artist and draw something, that's your own passion. That's not necessarily making a lot of money. But if you want to make a lot of money, you got to be in a service business, which means you got to have a service or product to sell people. As simple as that. That's if you want to make money. If you don't want to make no money, you just want to be happy or whatever, then you can go ahead and draw flowers or, just do something that you want to do. But you got to have enough money to keep up with inflation and in time. But by the time you get 40 years old, you are supposed to be able to figure it out. When you 50 years old, man, if you 50 years old and you 50 years old, you have passed 100 years. You at halftime right there. The way I look at it in my mind, because I'm a visual person, I look at let's look at a dollar. Let's look at 100 years. I look at the first 25 years, you cut a fool. You ain't know what the hell's going on. So that's a quarter. That's the first quarter in a football game. That's the first quarter in a basketball game. That's the first quarter. You just warming up. You're 25 years old. The second quarter, you go from 25 to 50. Okay, you should have known some mistakes you done did. You did that. Like I said, you studied the wrong thing. You studied being a botanist or whatever, plants, and you studying plants and you can't make no money doing that. You study being a PE teacher and you can't make no money doing that, or just being a teacher. They're not paying people. Okay, do you understand how America is a capital society, supply and demand? The more people and more you in demand, the more money you make. That's just it. If you want to sweep floor and be a janitor, you ain't that much in demand, so they ain't gonna pay you a lot. If you want to be a surgeon, or you want to be a football player, a quarterback that can throw the ball and make touchdown, you in demand. Okay, they're gonna pay you a lot of money. All right, just figure it like that. So by the time you're 50 years old, that's the second quarter. Now at 50 years old, that's halftime. So you half of 100. So remember, every sport they give halftime. Well, football, I'm thinking about. You go in there and you reassess. You look and say, damn, what have I done? I've been a fool. I should have did this and I did that. All of us gotta have a come to Jesus moment, man. You gotta look at yourself and be honest with yourself. You ain't gotta do it in front of nobody. You ain't gotta run in front of the church, but you gotta go in that bathroom at least, man, and close the door. You ain't gotta look in the mirror, but you can sit on the toilet, do something, and say, man, Damn, I messed up. But it's only halftime. It's only halftime. You know you can come out of that locker room, you can come out of that bathroom, and you say, okay, this is what I'm going to do. Now, genius is being able to make yourself do the things that you know you ought to do when you just don't feel like doing it. I'm going to say it again. Genius and being the master of self. A lot of people try to master everybody else and tell everybody else what to do. First, you got to master self. But the first prerequisite in mastering self is looking in self and say, self, I got to do the things that I know I ought to do, especially when I don't feel like doing it. If I could master that, ain't no stopping me. That's what I want y'all to do. Say, ain't no stopping. You got to do that, man. You got to do that. You know, today is Saturday. Last Sunday, I decided, because I had been eating, I went to New York. I went to my house in the Poconos. I had went for 7 days, took my little grandson, 7 years old, spring break. So he see the Statue of Liberty and took pictures of him just so he can reflect, let him see. We stayed in Times Square, let him see the big buildings. And he see, boy, these buildings got TVs all on them, Dad, Grandpapa. You know, he said that, but I took him there. So, but I ate a lot. I ate pizza, ate pies, ate all kind of stuff in New York. Then when I got to my house at Poconos, I ate breakfast, lunch, and dinner. I usually don't do that. Okay. So I gained some weight. So I said, Lord, let me come back. So I got back Sunday. Monday, I said, you know what I'm gonna do? I'm gonna do a 3-day fast. 3 days. No food. Yeah. Why did I do that? Most of y'all ain't never fast 1 day. I did that for 2 things. One, I like to test my potential, because God has given all of us strength and an ability to do way more than we even think that's capable. So I said, I'm going to not eat no food. I'm going to just drink water and grapefruit juice and orange juice. That's it for 3 days. I didn't eat no solid foods. For Monday, 24 hours, Tuesday, 24 hours, Wednesday, 24 hours. I broke my fast on Thursday with some soup. I did that because you have got to be master of self. When you can tell your body, when you can tell yourself, when you can control your mouth, when you can control what you hear and see and smell and taste and touch, that's what gets us all in trouble. A married man, if he wouldn't have saw Juicy Lucy, he wouldn't have cheated on his wife. If he was blind, but he could see her. He saw her. If he was blind, he would never saw it. So your 5 senses, boy, mess us up more than we can even imagine. When I was fasting, I smelled some Italian food, but I said, no Italian food. Oh Lord. At home, they was cooking, they was eating. I said, oh no, I'm getting the 5 senses ain't gonna get me. I am master of self. And I made it through. And I do that every so often just to check myself to see who's in boss. So first, as I'm saying, you have got to be the master of self, man. You got to. I don't care. Just do the little things. Say you ain't going to curse for a whole month. You ain't going to say no curse word. Okay. Say you're not going to drink for a whole month. Just try it. Say you're not going to eat bread for just pick whatever you pick. Just say you ain't gonna watch no TV for a whole month. Just do it. Now you're getting some strength and you'll feel so much better about yourself. This is the beginning of wisdom and understanding self. You got to study yourself. Then after you do that, you want to start saying, okay, let me figure out what's going on in this world, who got the money, how to get the money, and what I should be doing and how I should be investing. One thing that you cannot do is lean on your understanding. I am Robert Henderson Jr. I do get counseling all the time. What I mean by counseling, twice a week, Tuesday and Thursday, I'm on a Zoom meeting with people, all people smarter than me, make way more money than me, learning about techniques and strategies. And it's a national organization. You got to be invited because they know if you someone that you have effort, you want this. Listen, I don't miss those meetings. I don't. And if I'm on a plane when I want to come on, they record it and I listen to it in the next 30. I can't even stress to you all. You have always got to be around people smarter than you, people that know something. Stop leaning on your own understanding. Stop trying to be the Mr. Fix-It man. You know everything about everything. No, you don't. You have to you have to get people who know things about it, and you have to have a relationship with them, and they can tell you and help you to get to the next level. That's what you have to do. Okay, stop trying to do it all yourself. I'm gonna study this. I know this. No. You need to have people who know that, and they give you information, and then you regurgitate everything. I know, I've gotten it from other people, and then I regurgitate it from you. I've learned it, I studied it, and I regurgitated it. But it didn't come just from me. It came from other people, and then I learned it. I listen at the end of this month, April. I'm going to some part of California. I've been invited. It's 200 people for top strategies on financial planning. I'm gonna be there for 3 days. Yeah. See, I do it all the time. Then I got them in June. Then I got one in July. I'm flying somewhere. Ain't right around the corner. I'm going somewhere. We're gonna be secluded. 300 people, 200 people, 150 people, and they learn about different stuff. I constantly do that, man. How you think I stay on top of this stuff? You got to, because this stuff is forever changing. Now, let me get back to once halftime. We talked about first 25 years, you don't know nothing. The second 25 years, you're 50 years old, you should figure that you done messed up so and so. Now you're 50 years old. Now, after 50 years old, you need to be trying to be all you could be, because time is running out. Time is running out, man. So you got to be saying, okay, I got to figure this out. Now, you come out of halftime. Halftime, now the third quarter is from age 50 to 75. Ain't that right, James T? I got my man, James T. Hey, third quarter.
For us, it's second quarter, but for them, it's third quarter.
You got that right. Hey, listen, third quarter is from 50 to 75. Now, you know somebody. If you're a fool between 50 years old and 75, you won't always be a fool. It's over for you. You got to wait till your next lifetime. But then that's third quarter. And y'all know third quarter, the guns come out. Third quarter, the guns come out, boy. Listen, Colonel Sanders, Kentucky Fried Chicken, didn't get rich until the third quarter. That's when he started Kentucky Fried Chicken. Third quarter, from 50 to 75, you ain't got no time to play. That's when you thinking, you done laid seeds, you done planted seeds. Boy, you saying, oh my God. Because that fourth quarter from 75 years old to 100, oh man, you just booming. You just sitting up there, man. You oh man.
Rob, and the wake-up call for a lot of people is going to be, listen carefully. You're going to live a lot longer than you think you're going to live.
Ooh, that's scary there.
Now,
if you ain't prepared, you scared. That's scary.
Rob, that's my point. Rob, I really do want to know, for people, whenever you check this out, do you believe what Robert is saying? I just, just put a yes or no, or I don't know. I think so. Because I love the fact that this brother, as a matter of fact, I try to slow him down, to be honest with you. I try not to bother him. I try to even tell family members and friends, hey, wait, don't think you can just pick up the phone and call this man. I mean, hey, somebody said, hell yeah. That was Parnell.
Hey, Parnell, no, but Parnell definitely no.
See, I mean, believe me, and in most situations, Rob, they would pay people who don't look like us to even tell them a smidgen of what, because, nobody wants to give it all, supposedly, because they want to milk you for the rest of your life. Hey, you take your car to the repair shop. Now, the man sees something else is going to go wrong, but he's going to, Rob, he know you're going to be back.
You know you're going to be back.
Yeah, right. You call the AC man, and, you tell him, oh, wow, it's burning up in here, and he knows if he tells you to get a new unit, that's going to scare you. So he said, he's going to say, oh, yeah, we can fix this. Boom. And he does just what you want him to do, because you want something cheap rather than something that is going to last. That's what, and most things cost you. And the most precious thing that you could give on Saturday mornings, most beyond your dollars, is your time. For those who give time to get this information and to support others so that you can share with others. Because for me, repetition is what helps me to be able to share with other people. So for those of you who are saying, yes, you believe it, thank you for that. For those of you who are not certain, hey, start talking to yourself, asking, what do you know? But then ask yourself, what do I need to know that I don't know? And where can I go to get that information?
And that's spot on, bro. You can't say it any better than that, man. That's plain. You broke it down plain. You need to always try to figure out what do I I used to say, what are they? I know they doing something out there that I don't know.
Rob,
I know they doing something. How they doing that? How they doing it? I know they
come on.
doing something,
Yeah. And Rob, because you and I, fortunately enough, we've been to the table, and we didn't go to the table to tell them how much we knew. We went to the table and learned how much they didn't know, that we knew. And then
Yeah.
to learn some of the things that they thought they knew that was not true. I mean, I done laughed at a lot of people, Rob, who were in, as that book of James says, when they were in high positions. If you want to read that book of James, I'm James, 5 chapters. Start with chapter 1. Hey, right. Those first little, that's who I am. Yes, sir. I'm one of those, and what we really need to do is reach out to our young people. Sometimes you might have to lock them in the chair. You might have to just say, sit down. I want to talk to you, because I just had a conversation with a dear friend, and he first thing he said to me, he said, James, man, I ask these brothers out here, as these young people go through what they go through, man, what are we doing? I said, hold it. No. What are we not doing?
That's right.
What are we not doing? Are we really living examples of the truth and the truths of those parables and those laws? Are we living that so others can see that? I want to know what Robert. Robert flying everywhere for free. Because see, those people know Robert got something that they need to know, if it's no more than his experience. And look at what he brings to the table in the melanin, and the people that he have reached to look like him. And believe me, they want to reach you. Yeah, they want to reach you, Rob? Don't they want them? They want
man, yes, they do. Yeah, yes, they do. People that got melanin is the sleeping giant. They don't know.
And
the people that got a lot of melanin, the sleeping giant, they don't know what they just don't know. They don't. We don't know. We really don't know. But we are way more powerful than we can ever dream or even hope for. We just don't know. And each and every one should be trying to seek that. That's what that's what they call seeking the kingdom within you. You need to be trying to seek all you could be and all who you truly are, and open your eyes. I ain't talking about your eyes to watch Netflix or Amazon. I'm talking open your eyes, your mortal eyes, your inner eyes. Okay, I'm talking about your inner vision. Steve Wonder came. That's why he called it an inner vision album. To see beyond what's your sight, to see what your thoughts and your mind. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. James do at nighttime, leaving the office 8:30. I call him on the way home. James says, man, you got to get some rest, man. I say, man, I'm resting. I'm fired up, man. I told James, I'm gonna go ride my bike, man. James said, what? I'm gonna go ride my bike for 10, 15 miles, man, at 8:30 at night, man. I say, yeah, now listen, I ain't no fool now. I ain't gonna ride no bike on no highways. I ride the bike in gated communities.
Yeah. Thank you. And believe it or not, listeners and viewers, we're being a little selfish, because I told him we haven't been able to clone him yet. So we need to clone 2 or 3 more like him, so that as we go, we grow.
Hey, listen, man, I'm telling you something. I'm proving his age is just a number. James definitely proven. James inspired me, boy. You don't tell me what you can't do. Don't tell me you can't do it. James inspired me. So he before me, so I'm watching him. So, man, ain't no age, is just a number. That's all it is, a number. And you got to believe that and believe it. Don't just say it with your mouth. You got to really believe it. And you got to act like it. Some people get 65 years old and just change their walk. Oh, I'm 65. If they'd have told you was 25, you act different. Walking straight up. You know what I mean? Hey. That's the same thing happened when they tell you 65. You say, oh, I got to retire now. And you ain't got no money. How you going to retire because you 65? You ain't got no money. You retire when you can retire, when all your bills can be paid without you working. If you can't retire then, 65 is just a number. You got to retire when it's time economically for you retire. And a lot of people call me, tell me they want to retire, and they ain't got 2 nickels to call it down. I said, how you gonna eat? Well, I ain't think about that. I'm just 65. Well, where you gonna get the money from? Who told you that? Oh, I didn't think about that. Boy, I tell you, that coming out of halftime from 50 years old to 75, that quarter is very important. And then once, if you 75 years old, man, you in the fourth quarter, you still got some good time. It's good time of life, man, at 75 years old, because you done look back and reflected for 75 years, and you done seen somebody, man, you done seen Slick Willie get rich and get broke, and now he homeless. You done seen arrogance. You done seen what goes up comes down. You done seen Miss Juicy Lucy look like a rhino. And she done slicked a lot of people, but now she's like a dried up tomato. You know what I mean? I mean, you can see, so now you know what goes around. You know that things change and everything change by the time you 75 years old. So when you're going from 75 to you the fourth quarter, man, you shouldn't be ripped off. I don't understand how you 75 years old and you still in the lottery line talking about trying to win something. You know it don't work like that. You know what I mean? That's amazing to me, Jane.
Rob, I speaking of that, I was gifting someone a gift, right? And so I go and I have to tell them, I don't know anything about the lottery. I don't know what tickets or whatever. I said, but I know people who do, and I just want to give them a gift package. And so, well, I asked a couple of things, and then I asked the lady. Now, remember, this is someone behind the counter, and a line is building up behind me because I don't know what I'm doing. And I asked her, I said, what other things can I get? And she told me, I don't know.
That's right.
She couldn't work. She couldn't work for me, Rob. Somebody is asking to buy some of my product to give me advice. Right.
And she said, pick to do or whatever. She don't know. She don't know.
So I said, okay. I said, since these people standing in line and getting mad with me because I don't know what I'm doing, thank you. And walked away. I would have spent another $50, $60, whatever it was. I don't know. Whatever she would have said, Rob, I said, okay, give me that.
Yeah, I know.
She said, I don't know.
She don't know. Most people don't know. They're just taking the money. They're just doing their job, man. 9 to 5. Courtney Kane just popped in, Jane. That's a good friend.
Oh yeah.
Good morning, Courtney. We about to end now, Courtney, but you can go back and rewatch the show.
He been listening. He been listening. Rob.
He been listening. Yeah.
He just checked in because he know. Yeah, because he's trying to live as long as we trying to live.
Yeah, hey, that Courtney, yeah, he got some sense there now. That Courtney knows something. That Courtney, he know how to get advice. He know who to ask.
Rob, and guess what? And when he thinks he knows, he don't mind calling you to make sure that you agree with what he think he knows. So I love that about him too. But Robert,
those of y'all who go ahead. Yeah, thank you too, James. But those of y'all who missed us and came in late, all you got to do is rewatch the show. It's on YouTube and it's on Facebook forever. And we talked earlier about the volatility of the stock market. I just can't wait until the end of the year to see how this thing. I had one guy told me that they think that this administration ain't gonna last to the end of the year, but I don't know. I don't know. This thing is better than HBO, but I know that. When the poor people that thought that this administration was going to make them rich, when they find out that they've been had, I don't know if they're going to get in the street. I don't know what's going to happen, but I can't wait to see it, because I remember, James, in December, people that look like me and you too was saying, because I got all kind of clients that says, the Trump administration going to make them rich, and they want to put all their money in the stock market. They want to put all their money in Bitcoin. And they told me that. And I said, listen, I had to talk to them. I said, listen, it's just not that simple. It's not that easy. Life is like an elusive woman. You can't figure her out. You really can't. When you think she's going to say yes, you say no. She's, you can't really predict an elusive woman. I mean, and that's how the market is. So when you think somebody come to take you to the promised land, that ain't it. Most of the time, that's not it. If you could see him, and if it ain't God, then that ain't it. You know, that's not the savior. So no rich man. I've never heard a rich man make a poor person rich. I've never ever heard of that. I've never, just for free. I've never heard of that. Anytime you want to go to the next level, there's some sacrifice. There's a price to pay. There's a price to pay. Now, the price don't have to be with money, but the price could be with discipline. The price definitely going to be with time. Anytime you trying to build wealth, true wealth, you can't build true wealth without time. Time. I don't care. Anybody that can tell you, anybody that tell you how to get rich, anybody tell you about a financial plan, anybody tell you about anything that is good, it's going to be quick. Run. Now, I know by me saying just that, there's a lot of people don't want to hear that. They want to hear me say easy and quick. That's not how the universal law works. It does not work. It's not easy, because making oneself do the things that one have to do when they don't feel like doing it, you know that's not easy. If you come on, you know that's not easy. Making yourself get out of bed and do what? Come on, most people is, come on, man. You know that. You know, clean out that closet that you're supposed to be cleaning out. You know that ain't easy. It's when you do it, it's easy. You know, you come on. So if anybody tell you, and people are selling programs, and they selling easy programs and getting rich programs, and it's amazing that people are buying it. People getting rich off selling what's easy and what's quick. Anytime anybody tell you in any field, do this, pay me $10,000 or $25,000, and I'm gonna show you something that's easy and it happened quick, you need to run. That is the code. If someone tell you, I'm going to show you how to become very wealthy, but there's a price to pay. In the beginning, it's going to be hard. Why is it hard? Because if it was easy, everybody would do it. If you want to separate yourself from the masses, you got to do what's hard. And when you do what's hard, it ain't going to be hard for a lifetime. It's going to be hard for a while. It's going to be hard for a while. But you will get there. And when you get there, you would have paid the price, because that hard comes with time. It's going to take time. Now, once you can get through that hard and that time, you're going to go to the promised land. And you ain't going to have a lot of competition, because 95% of people in the world are not rich or wealthy. Those people want it easy and they want it quick. The 5% of people who are rich and wealthy, they did it hard. They did it over time. So just simple as that. This is what they should have taught us in grade school. This road or that road. You choose the road you want. A drug dealer, it was easy to go sell somebody some drugs and quickly money, but it wears out. It never lasts. It never lasts. Anything that's quick and fast and easy, doing a scratch off lotto. Some people have been doing that stuff for 20 years, ain't caught nothing. They've been, oh my God, they could have been ahead of retirement. But I'm telling you, gravitate. If you want to get wealthy, do what's hard. An IUL, an index IUL, it takes 10 years for that thing to come out of the ground and be like, whoa. That's why most people can't do it. If you want to be a surgeon, take 8 years, 10 years. Most people ain't doing that. Most people ain't doing nothing that take time. But I tell you something. Learning how to ride a bike, like James like to say, we've been here before. Just reflect. You've done stuff. Man, if you know how to swim, you know that was not easy. I almost drowned when I was learning how to swim. 2 times I almost drowned. But now I can swim. Matter of fact, I got a pool in my house. I can swim like a shark. And James, learn how to ride that bike. Oh my God, I fell, bust my head, but knee.
Oh my goodness. Hey, it was hard.
But it was hard learning to ride that bicycle when you was a kid. Skin your knees up. But now I ride 20, 25 miles with no hands. You see what I'm saying?
Hey, stop that right now. the way these people driving around, please be careful out there. I don't care if you're in your neighborhood.
I'm in the gated community.
They drive bad in the gate. I was standing on the street, and I'm not lying. I know this guy did 60 to 70 miles an hour between a block to a light. Now, fortunately, there was something really, because I was just praying that the light stay green. Because if it didn't, and another car came, man, it was gonna be dangerous. So Rob, we appreciate you being and doing what you're doing. But the most difficult thing that people are gonna find to do is to do this. Be transformed by the renewing of their minds. Because it ain't hard, Rob, when you can look beyond, today, tomorrow, next year. But people don't plan that way. OJ said we live for the weekend. I don't know the words to that song because that wasn't me. I wasn't living for the weekend. So, transforming the mind. Hey, celebrate today. Whatever, because whatever it is that you're finding difficult today, guess what? You've been living with it. And you can live through it because you've lived with it all this time. Every one of us is living with something that is going to take us out. But the key is we're living with it. I'm not worried about it. I'm living with it, whatever it is, because I'm gonna be 120 before it does. And after that, hey, Rob, after that, hey, say la vie.
James, man, so you can say that now because you got commercial property and stuff. You got people paying you.
Stop, Rob.
Hey,
stop.
James, you planted that seed long time ago. Ooh, Rob. Lord, James, what's
stop, Rob.
What's one of the longest seeds? How time-wise?
Time-wise.
Yeah. What's one of the longest seeds?
You signed the paper. You signed the papers. The first commercial property I purchased was 1980.
Oh man. And that thing is given today, ain't it? You planted that seeds, well, in 1983 or something.
No, literally 1980. You signed the papers.
Hey, listen, and you planted that seed back then, and right today, boom, boom. And a lot of people want you to sell the tree. You ain't selling the tree, huh?
Man, I don't have anything for sale. Not even my time. I don't sell my time. Here, I trade my time. Rob, Rob. Oh my goodness. Hey, Rob, we really need to bring on people who can share, their stories. Barry White. I saw a reel on Barry White because I met Barry White years ago. Hosted this show at the Sunrise and all kind of stuff. And he came into the studio and all of that, but he said something way back when computers started. He said computers were going to take a lot of people out of work because we were taught, man, you go to school, get an education, get a job. That's what most people were taught that, and boy, a grandmama with a third grade education, man. When I was in the third grade, it was like I read Think and Grow Rich by Napoleon Hill, Rob, just from my grandmother. And then when I did read and study that book, I could hear and see things that she had said. When she said, I want to show you how to. She said use the word make money, but we know we don't make money, we earn it. But how to make money so you never have to beg that man for a job.
That's right.
Rob, at a third, when you can get that and someone can show you that, oh, Rob, man, come on. I know heaven is here on earth because I'm living in heaven. Right?
Let the church say amen. Hey,
I'm
but
in
James,
heaven.
when you reflect, you planted some seeds, man. That's why I tell people, listen, all the good stuff takes time. You know, if you want to IUL, just plant that seed now. In 10 years, you're gonna say, holy cow, if I'd have knew this. I got people I told to put more money 10 years ago in the IUL, and they want to put a little bit of money. And now they're saying they wish they would have listened to me. Let me tell you something, man. You plan it all, plan as much as you could now, because it will come back tenfold for you, and you'll be shocked. And then you'll say, oh my God, now I see how this thing works. But 10 years done went by, you done got older. So now you try to tell somebody younger and they don't understand. I'm telling y'all the secret. Is planning. It's planning, and it's TIME. Listen, James, we got to go, man. I don't overstay my stay.
And I know you got work to do.
Hey, oh man, I got some people texting me.
Hey, yeah. Oh yeah. I got it from my brother. This is on behalf of my brother John Davis and my family. He said, "Join me in praying, Lord, grant us wisdom to understand your will, and fill us with your spirit, avoiding." What Robert Henderson says, avoiding foolishness and recklessness. He said, therefore, do not be foolish, but understand what the will of the Lord is, and do not get drunk with wine, for that is, oh my goodness, debauchery. Now, folks, this is scripture. I'm going to tell you where it is too. But be filled with the Spirit. And it's Ephesians 6:17 through 18. So Robert done told y'all, stop being foolish. We pray this prayer based on God's promise in Jesus' name. Amen. Amen.
Amen. Oh man. Amen. Let the church say amen. And listen, don't worry about that stock market. Just give it TIME. Man, a lot of the wealthy people, they wanted to drop a little more, and they're gonna start buying it in. They're gonna be buying it every time it drops. They're gonna be buying.
And they're gonna be billionaires and trillionaires in 10 years.
That's right. And they buying it every time it drops. They buying it. Every time it drops, they buying it. My phone should be ringing off the hook every time the stock market crash. Y'all should be buying, not calling, talking about, oh Lord, let me sell. No. You selling to the rich people. They the one buying, okay?
What you selling, they buying.
Yeah, they buying. When you sell, they do the opposite of what you do. If you ain't got no money, you're supposed to be doing what the rich people do. You're supposed to be doing the opposite, okay? Listen, I love y'all. Peace. Have a wonderful, wonderful weekend, and stay tuned for next week. I'll be here. James, love you, brother.
Love you more, man.
Today. Hey, Norvik, Donna, P, Brenda Brown, Mr. Miss Redhead, Nail Spa, we love you. Who else? Let me see who I gotta say.
Courtney
Kane, my man.
Four.
Tracy. Who else we got here? Mario, my man. Mario, my man. He's been a client for a long time. Mario has lived this stuff, and he in Sedona. I love Sedona. Joseph Caravelle, Islam. Okay, I love y'all. Brenda Brown. Be safe out there and have a wonderful weekend. And I want y'all to share this information, and I want you to think about what we said. It's going to be on. You can always look at it, and we'll see you next week. Peace, love, and have a wonderful weekend. Gotta go.